Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Starcraft 2 replay cast. Today it's a 1 vs 1 on Frost LE between our yellow Zerg player, Zerghamdi, or Zerghamdi. Not really sure, I've never seen this player before, but he is definitely high masters, if not a grandmaster account as well. And down at the bottom we have our pink Zerg player, Stephano, who has been around for a very long time. One of my favorite players, always a really great Zerg player. And I have seen many games of Stephano. And so if you guys don't learn anything from this replay, well, I don't know then. It's gonna be at the 2-minute mark here, and we will slow it back down to see what's going on here. We have some early Zergling rush here from Zerghamdi going after Stephano's quick expansion. So expanded a little bit quicker than his opponent, but is also going to pay for it in terms of that Zergling rush there. And Zerg vs Zerg is always such an interesting matchup, as it is always like this. It's just so odd with all these Zerglings running around, Zerglings vs Zergling, and Banelings taking out multiple Zerglings at a time. And so it really comes down to that one Baneling. Can it get just one Zergling, or can it get all of your Zerglings? That is the question, and that is what wins or loses in terms of Zerg. But it's not always the case, but it's just a very interesting matchup in my opinion. And now Zerglings here getting shredded up, but he did get a lot. Let's look at the units lost tab here. And looks like 14 or 12 units lost for Stephano, which is almost exclusively drones. And so that is going to set him back a little bit there. He's just going to have to remake all those drones now. And really all that Hamdi lost was a bunch of Zerglings, but that was also, you also have to take into consideration that hatchery came up later, and he didn't have as many drones out to begin with anyway. So we'll see which side really lost on that. In terms of the units lost, it looks like Stephano actually lost more in terms of resources, but it's not much, and so it's not too big of a deal just yet. And now coming in with some Zerglings of his own, but a couple Queens here. Might get a drone or two. Looks like he's going to slip into the main base if he can and get some drones in there. No Queens in the main base, so looks like he's just going to swing around here. He's going to get some scouting information and should be able to get some of these drones, but he's only have 3 Zerglings, so that makes it kind of hard for him to actually take out any of these drones, so the drones will just defend themselves. But I'm going to lose these 2 Zerglings here real soon, but it's actually kind of interesting to watch. I kind of want to look at the other base and see what's going on, but this is a little too fun right now. And loses that Zergling finally. And so good juking going on there, but didn't really accomplish all that much. And now it's Stephano's base here. And not too much teching up going on, and that's usually the way it is with Zerg. Zerg can't really tech up too quick, otherwise you just get hit by Zerglings. So it's most likely going to be, what it usually comes down to is Banelings versus Banelings, and can your Baneling destroy 5 of his, or is it just going to be a 1 versus 1 kind of kill situation? So that's the fun of Banelings and the randomness of it and the skill of trying to actually have them blow up on multiple Zerglings. And then so you just sort of send one Zergling out and try and kill that one Baneling with that one Zergling, and then that is a really super good deal to be able to defeat a Baneling with one Zergling instead of losing multiple. And now the evolution chamber is here coming up to block the path a little bit, and the Queen's going to sit there, and so a pretty nice little block there in the center. Now evolution chamber here, evolution chamber on the bottom. So instead Stephano decided to go for a little spine crawler kind of situation there, but either way, both sides quite similar. And now Zerghamdi really stocking up on those drones. And if I'm not saying that wrong, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm totally sorry, guys. But honestly, I've never heard of this player before, but I did see that he was definitely high master, and potentially, if he's playing with Stephano, he could be close to grandmaster as well, if not already grandmaster, and perhaps it's just a different account, but who knows. Either way, definitely got to be a good player to even be matched up with Stephano in the first place. And this may be a tournament game too, I'm not actually sure. I did see this game, and I thought it would be really nice to cast a Stephano game, which I haven't seen posted in a long time, a Stephano game. So I decided to hop on this, as he's one of my favorite players. I'd say my favorite player of all time has got to be Flash, though. I just absolutely loved how he sort of turned Terran around in StarCraft 1 a little bit there. For a while, it was really all about Protoss and Zerg in StarCraft 1 tournaments. And then once Flash came around, I think he just really did Terran a huge service in terms of StarCraft 1 and made everybody realize how good Terran really was. Because for a while there, the meta was just pretty much Mutalisk play and Dragoons, tons of Dragoons. But Flash really made it happen, and that's why I really like Flash. I was always a huge StarCraft 1 Terran fan. And both sides just pumping out Zerglings. Relatively calm game so far. And now a Spire is up for Zerghamdi. And what is going on with Stephano? What is he going to be working on? Spore Crawler now coming up, so he may suspect that there are going to be some Mutalisks here sooner or later. There's another Spore Crawler coming up there at the expansion. But just tons of Mutalisks coming out for Stephano. So we'll see if there's tons of Zerglings coming out for Stephano. So we'll see if the Mutalisks of Zerghamdi will actually do a lot of good or not. And so with these Zerglings, they will not be able to defend themselves, obviously, from the Mutalisks, but can always run. Or just run past the defenses of his opponent while he is actually being attacked by Mutalisks. And both sides running around a lot. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any Banelings here. There are so many Zerglings on the field. A couple Banelings here would do wonders and could virtually destroy all of these Zerglings at once here, or at least a good chunk and majority of them, should it be a lucky, I guess, RNG hit. Nearly got completely surrounded there by Zerglings. And losing tons of Zerglings here, and not really fighting back either. Now bringing them to the Spine Crawlers. Almost said Spore Crawlers for a second there, but Spine Crawlers. And did quite a bit of damage there to Stephano, but even still, Zerghamdi just losing so many Zerglings. Third expansion, or rather a second expansion up for Stephano now, but not a second one for Zerghamdi. So he's really just pounding out these Mutalisks and hoping that he's going to win this game. If he does not with these Mutalisks, it's going to be way behind, especially in terms of hatcheries. He only has 2 pumping out larvae here. And so if he doesn't get that third one up soon, there it comes now. But it may be too little too late, as these Zerglings now have an open chance to just run right after this hatchery. And there really isn't a lot on the ground to stop them. Even if you had the Mutalisk there, they could just pretty much sacrifice themselves while killing that hatchery there. So I think Zerghamdi's in a bad situation right now, and really needed to expand a little bit faster. The Queens here getting surrounded here, trying to transfuse, trying to keep alive. But it's just not going to happen very long. Another transfusion, and kept 2 of them alive, and lost a lot of Zerglings on that. But either way, it killed those 1 Queen, and now these Spine Crawlers have been destroyed as well. There are some Mutalisks on the field here, but again, once again, you can just take a big ball of these Zerglings, run after this hatchery that is about to be created at some point, and still defeat it. And even if he lost all those Zerglings, it would be way worth it for him just to remake more of them. And now a third expansion here coming up for Stephano while he keeps his opponent occupied. And really just keeping Zerghamdi, as I said, occupied while he expands. These Zerglings here really aren't doing all that much other than just keeping Zerghamdi in his base and just occupying his mind. And while he does that, Stephano has expanded much more than Zerghamdi, so Zerghamdi's going to be running out of minerals anytime soon at his main base. Here comes the Mutalisk now, but there's so many Queens here transfusing, and the transfusion has not stopped. Couldn't get a Queen down, and there are 3 more over here. There are just Queens everywhere. The transfusion has been going on. They've been out for so long that they have enough energy for at least 2 transfusions each. And now we'll start to lose these Queens, but is it too late? And now we have a bunch of Zerglings over here going to try and get into the base here. Need to get rid of these Queens first. And the Mutalisks over here taking out some more Queens. Now going to head towards the main base here. A couple Spore Crawlers coming up. You have to take care of these Spore Crawlers here real quick, otherwise those are going to give them a big problem. Even more Queens. Zerglings now making it into the base. And the base being overwhelmed here now by Zerglings. And the Mutalisks just simply don't have the DPS that the Zerglings do, so these Zerglings are definitely going to win this base race, especially the fact that now there's several Spore Crawlers up here, bringing up Spore Crawlers even further now towards the edge. And these random Spore Crawlers here definitely going to slow him down quite a bit. But he still has an expansion up here. Spore Crawlers coming down everywhere, and these Brutalist just aren't going to be able to take out all those Spore Crawlers. And it is a base race situation now. And here come the Mutalisk over here. But again, there's 2 Spore Crawlers, 2 Queens, just too much. And a Transfusion went off there. And there goes another Queen. And a bunch of drones here may die. He's trying to chase down that Queen and get rid of that. But again, he's just going to run right into 4 more up here. And the base nearly destroyed here. And not too much left. Just a Spire and this. I do believe these are the last 2 buildings. And that is going to be GG. And good job, Stephano. Kept him busy the whole time with a bunch of those Zerglings. And again, you'd be surprised. The Mutalisks, of course, they're in the air and can destroy all the Zerglings. But Zerglings move much faster and do way more DPS. So if it comes down to a base race situation, the Zergling DPS is just too much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.